Welcome into the In the Money podcast for KeenelandSelect.com. Tom Leach along with Jim Goodman, Keeneland's Director of Mutuals and Simulcasting, and we're going to take a look at some stakes races and big races from Gulfstream Park and from Los Alamitos. But last week, if you were listening to our analysis of the Claiming Crown, Jim loved Royal Posse and singled that one in the late pick 4, and I think they took a race off the turf that made it into an all race, and you had gone 5 deep in there, so pretty good play there for a 50-cent ticket on the pick 4.
It had it 5 times. I think it paid about $470, so that would have been over $2,200. So
that would buy some Christmas presents.
Sometimes things work out in your favor when they take it off the turf.
Well, let's go to Gulfstream Park for the Grade 3 Rampart, and it's early on the card. It's their third race. Fairly small field, but fairly well matched, too, for fillies and mares 3 and up going a flat mile around one turn at Gulfstream. Who'd you go with?
I guess they took it out of the pick 6. They're worried about that jackpot pick 6, so they moved this race because it only has 8 horses. But I went with the 7-horse Best Behavior here for Johnny Velasquez and Marty Wolfson. And I think what's going to happen you try to visualize these races, and sometimes they don't turn out like you think. And Pink Poppy or Cali Star, the 3 and the 1, look like they're both need-to-lead types, and they're equal in quality. Pink Poppy ran behind Recepta and Lady Laura last time out, Recepta 3 back. And Cali Star beat some of these last time out and got a lead and, ran 48, 49 and 1, 113 and 3 and had a little contested lead and pulled away. So Cali Star may just be getting that much better. But what I'm betting on here is that Cali Star and Pink Poppy will contest the lead, and it sets up for Best Behavior, and there's nobody better. With Johnny Velasquez I think can sit off the pace here from the 7 hole. And I take Best Behavior here, the 7, over the 1 and the 3 with everything else in the trifecta.
I'm going to take the 1 Cali Star. I like these Wolfson horses that when they come into his barn and show marked improvement. And she ran an 88 in her first start for Marty Wolfson, and got the rails maybe usually at the best place going a mile, but she's got speed, so I think she's fine. And I really like the sharp workout last time, so she runs an improved race and then has a bullet work going into this race for Wolfson. So I'm going to take it's 3-1. Hopefully I'll get that or a little better. I'm going to use her Kier and Exactas with Best Behavior, the 6 Danessa Deluxe for Navarro, and the 5 Legal Laura I will use as well. We'll also want to take a look at the late pick 4. A couple of stakes races involved here, and some good betting races. I ended up singling a horse in the third leg of this. So in the first leg, I like Prospectus, maiden winner for Pletcher, making its second start. But I'm also going to use Final Encore for Nix, who was an impressive maiden winner. There were 2 next out winners that came out of that race. And then a couple for Peter Walder, Benny and Alex, and Piccadilly Roadster I'll use for prices. So 3, 4, 8, 11. The next race, Hope Cross, a horse I picked last time for Chad Brown, ran an improved race in 95 and just got beat for the win, but finished a very good second. So I'm going to use Hope Cross back. And then Unbridled Courage, I want a little bit of that one at a price as well. So I'm going to use 2 horses there, the 3 and the 6. I'm going to single Valid in the 10th race, 5 for 10 lifetime at Gulfstream, and 6 out of 7 first or second at this distance. So drawn inside, going around 2 turns at Gulfstream. I think this horse with his speed is very well spotted. And then in the last leg, you got several horses in here coming into new barns and coming off claims. And rather than try to narrow it down, and it's kind of, I heard you say this before, if you can only narrow it down to 6 or 7, you might just take all. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to do 4 by 2 by 1 by all for a 50-cent ticket. That's $44. How about you?
Well, sometimes we get accused of collusion on our picks. There is no way we colluded on this one because I'm completely different. It's like I looked at 4 different races. So we're going to give the listeners a choice here because they can either go with you or go with me because it's going to be a huge ticket if they combine them. First race, the 8th race, I actually like the 2 horses toward the outside for Dane Kabisky. And he used to be a jockey. He's not a big name trainer. He's only had 229 starts this year. But Cat Tree, the 9, and the 10, While You May, I think both have a shot here. Cat Tree, they thought enough of him to put him in a stakes race at Belmont, and he ran with Cocked and Loaded and Swipe bears, and only got beat by 6 lengths. So I like Cat Tree and While You May. And Prospectus, the winner for Pletcher, won his maiden pretty easily, so I would throw him in there as well. And also the 6 horse that you didn't mention, Kokomo Wildcat. Just the fact that he won his maiden special weight so easily at Gulfstream West. So I would use 3 or 4 there, probably 4 deep, the 6, 8, 9, and 10. And then second leg, I would go 6 deep there. I didn't go all because I'm limiting the ticket to $60. But if I didn't go 6 deep, I would go all. I like Unbridled Courage, the 3 horse that you like, along with the 6 that you mentioned, Hope Cross. Those are my 2 top choices. But I would also use the 1. I go 1, 3, 6, 8, 9, 10 there. So 6 deep. I didn't single Valid there, although Valid is a logical single. I thought that the race was a little more wide open in the Harlan's Holiday, so I used Valid, the 2, but I also used the 4 Made from Lucky, the 6 Mexicoma, who jumps up and runs a big race every once in a while, the 7 Encryption, and I think the 10 horse, as I work through my pages here, Sir Quisqueyano, and this horse has a buyer pattern that's a little disruptive, but if he runs his race now, he's going to be good because he ran a 101, 91, 109, 77. So he's due for about a 113, so I would use him as well. And then in the last leg, since I'm out of money, you're taking all, and I'm going to single the 11. I'm going to take a stand with War Correspondent. There are some horses changing barns here. There are some horses moving up and moving down in class. The one thing you can count on is Christophe Clement will have this horse ready off a long layoff, but won the Appleton at Gulfstream, the last out. 1 for 2 at Gulfstream with a third, and the last 4 buyers are 90, 98, 102, 102. If he's ready, I think he wins this race. So I'm going to single the 11 last leg, so I think that's a $60 ticket if my calculations are correct. That would be the 6, 8, 9, 10 with the 1, 3, 6, 8, 9, 10 with 2, 4, 6, 7, 10 with 11. So nothing like your ticket, Tom.
The lament of most horse players, if I'm using all in the last leg, then that guarantees the favorite will win.
I've been there, done that. Know what happens.
Let's go to Los Al for their 8th race. It's the Grade 1 Starlet. It used to be the Hollywood Starlet when it was contested at Hollywood Park. And you got Baffert in here, Hollendorfer in here, but you don't have their big guns. So it's a fairly well-matched group, I thought. Pretty good-sized field, 9 horses going around 2 turns at a mile and a 16th. Your thoughts on the Starlet?
Yeah, I don't have a strong opinion here. I mean, you look at these 2-year-olds, and this is a Grade 1 for 2-year-old fillies, and you know, you look at their buyer numbers, you look at their trainers, they all got a chance to improve here. It's their last 2-year-old race, so you've got some fillies who actually run 5 times. I settled on Street Fancy, the 2, for Phil D'Amato, thinking that the Desi Arnaz, the last time out at Del Mar, hopped at the start, and then at 16-1 finished probably better than anybody else in there, and only got beat a half a length to one of the horses in here treasuring, being the 1 horse, Baffert's horse. So it's going to get, I think between those 2, Baffert's going to get a lot more play. But I love Mike Smith on Street Fancy, so I'm going to take a little flyer on her. Pacific Heat, the 4 was unchallenged in her first 2. If you look at the numbers, they're not real impressive, but she won by 13.5 and 5 1/4. So Peter Uerten probably has this one ready. Joe Talamo rides her back, so she's got a real shot. Stays in Vegas. The 3 is 4 for 5 lifetime, and the only blemish was against Songbird, which is certainly no disgrace in the Grade 1 Del Mar debutante. So my top 3 choices would be 2, 4, 3 in that order. Obviously, treasuring for Bob Baffert has a shot. I'd take the 2 on top, but I'd also key her 2nd, 3rd in case she doesn't quite measure up. But I think she's got a real shot here.
Funny because we were so different on the pick 4, and we end up on the same price horse in here. I like Street Fancy, too. I thought I like the improvement in the second start to a 77 buyer with the trouble you mentioned. And then she's a daughter of Street Sense, so stretching out she ought to love. And she looked like she was flying last time, and without the trouble might well have gotten the win in the Arnaz Stakes. And now in a Grade 1 here, ambitiously placed, but off a strong and improved effort. I think she can get the money at a little bit of a price. I'm going to use her with Pacific Heat and the 2 Bafferts treasuring and Pretty and Cool. But Street Fancy number 2 is going to be the pick for me as well in the Starlet. Best of luck on your wagers this weekend. Trying to pick up a little extra money for the holidays and keep your Keeneland Select account funded so when you're out running around you can still get down on that wagering opportunity that might come your way. So best of luck this weekend. For Jim Goodman, I'm Tom Leach. This is the In the Money Podcast. or KeenelandSelect.com.